Urban gardeners can get a big crop from small spaces. The most valuable time of day for Sherry Cohen is dinner time, when her family gathers around the table and eats the food she cooked. On a recent day, she prepared a vegetable dish and all the vegetables came from her garden. When her family moved to Washington last year, Cohen started a vegetable garden, inspired by some of her family memories. When I was a kid, she recalled, my aunt had a garden and she grew all sorts of vegetables, greens, potatoes, and onions. I've always loved to get my hands dirty in the soil. Now she plans family dinners around her garden. We have tomatoes and eggplant and okra, sweet peppers, and all kinds of greens you can imagine, she said proudly. I had to become more creative with recipes. I spent a lot of time on the internet trying to look up recipes for the vegetables that have been really successful, like the eggplant. Cohen gets help twice a month from gardening coach Natalie Carver from the garden design company Love and Carrots. Here we're growing out of raised beds, Carver pointed out. So there is the structure in the soil, and we really try to plant every square foot. A lot of our favorite summer vegetables, all of our tomatoes and basil, all the things that people want out of their garden, they need lots of sun. Planting vegetables in small spaces, urban gardening, is a growing trend, said Meredith Shepard, who founded Love and Carrots. People are interested in where their food comes from these days, Shepard said. They're interested in eating really healthy. They might not trust what they're buying in the grocery store anymore, so they want to grow it themselves. I read a statistic that something like 70% of Americans are gardening these days, and it's growing at a rate of 20% since 2009. So it's really just taking off, and it has been historically young women who are mostly interested in gardening, but I think young men are catching up. Shepard admitted that urban farming has its limits, but insisted that it doesn't have to be limiting. She helps her clients find creative ways to grow their favorite vegetables, no matter how small their gardens are. If you have a wall that's nice and sunny, we'll put a nice sturdy trellis on the wall and grow something like beans or cucumbers or peas. Make use of the vertical space, she said. On a balcony, we've used containers, we've even used 5-gallon buckets. If people are tight on a budget to grow tomatoes or cucumbers or something like that, you just have to make sure it can drain and fill it with good soil and keep it watered and healthy. Kaliza Kutchinson grows her vegetables in a tiny garden in front of her townhouse. She said she gets the best flavor and variety, and the food is cheaper. I don't go grocery shopping for vegetables at all. 100% of my vegetables come from my garden, she said. I only like to plant what I can eat. Every year, I learn what I've wasted, what I used practically. In a busy home, where both of us are working, I mostly try to create meals around what I'm growing. Hutchinson, who was born in Zambia and grew up in the United States, said her small garden means a lot to her. My father was a farmer, so that was the major reason why I was looking to live in a place where I could have a garden, she said. I still enjoy being in an urban environment, but I also missed out on feeling like being a part of nature. Her vegetable garden adds color to her home's entryway and helps her family eat better.